Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of A Slice of Fried Gold. My name's Paddy.
I'm Ben. You're not going to do it different this time? Come on.
I am keeping it fresh. That was slightly different. I had a bit of a musical note to my name.
Okay.
I'm keeping it up. I forgot to think of one today, so it was on the fly.
What have we learned today, kids? Paddy can't think on the fly.
Paddy does not do prep time.
Come on. You did drama. You should know improvisation.
Ben, it's been too long and I'm too decrepit for that now.
Do you remember when we used to do the Whose Line Is It Anyway games in
yeah,
drama?
Yeah. Oh, they were brilliant.
Best days of the life. Anyway,
if you are joining us for the first time and you're watching us on YouTube, like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below on this week's topics, and if you are listening to us on Spotify, please do give us a 5-star review and comment down below there as well. All that being said, Ben, how are you?
you really want to ask that question?
Yes, Ben. How the
really
devil are you?
Want to ask that question?
Yes, Ben, we do pleasantries.
This has not been a week. But it has been a week.
It's been a week.
So, I did the things. I drunk the clear stuff. I went into the gym and did the running thing. I did, I spent as much time in the daylight as I could, without ditching out of work.
Yeah.
I did all the things.
Yeah.
Still put weight on. It's like, come on. The deal is, I do this shit. I put my body through these things. Okay. It loses weight. I'm like, I'm turning into a Karen and be like, I want to speak to the manager. Like, what is going on?
Oh, dear.
So that being said, after I got on the scales and I put 3 pounds on after behaving for a full week,
yes,
I broke the diet.
Obviously.
And I was like, I don't care.
Yep.
So I went to McDonald's and went through the drive-thru, and there was this man. Like, you know how you go in the drive-thru, you've got the little posters, billboards, whatever you want to call them, before you get to the speakers, so you can see what you want.
Yeah.
He was sat at the billboards.
Yeah.
Not at the speaker. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. Felixstowe McDonald's has been turned into a 2-lane McDonald's, so I can go into the other lane.
Yes.
The fucker pulled forward so he got to the speaker before me. So, of course, they answered him first, like, welcome to McDonald's, welcome in here. And then he's, and I was like, oh my God, you were so much, like, you did not want me to get there before you did, that you got, made sure that you got to the speaker thing before I did, just because you didn't want to get beaten to it.
Nice.
And I was like, oh my goodness me. The worst bit was, I'd done the order on the app, so it's like, my order was done. It was ready to go.
It was going cold.
It wasn't going cold, because they don't start actually making it until you get there.
Oh, okay.
But I was just like, oh my God. And I was so tempted to get out of my car and throttle him. And put weight on, bad day at work, and then he goes and does that.
And then he held you up from your McDonald's?
Exactly! And so I was like,
Oh.
I was like, the Lord Jesus is testing me this week. I don't believe in the Lord Jesus, but he is testing me this week.
Someone tested me.
So there was that.
Yeah.
And then as I was driving along the A14, this rattling sound started in my car. Right. And I was like, oh, Lord Jesus, please, I do not have the money for this right now. And I was like, no. And I noticed the rattling only started when it was like getting up to high speeds, so like 60 miles an hour plus.
Okay.
And I was like, no, I don't have the money. This is the most inopportune time for this.
Yeah.
Took it to the garage around the corner.
Yeah.
And like the heat shield, the exhaust heat shield has basically corroded and bent slightly, and it was like banging against the exhaust pipe. But the thing is, I told him the situation. He was like, oh, it's probably the heat shield. A nut has probably come loose.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much? And he was like, oh, well, if it's a nut that's come loose, the nuts are about £8. Yeah. £8 for the nut, £2 to place it. Bob's going on. I was like, a tenner!
Yeah.
Oh, no. The whole heat shield has corroded.
Yeah.
It's split in half.
Yeah.
But it's not completely split enough that they need to remove it.
Right.
So all he did is just bent it back into place, and he was like, come see us again when it's corroded more. And I was like, oh no. So now my car is literally a ticking time bomb. And you know that the moment I finally pay off my credit card,
that's what it's going to
the car's going to go, and go.
And die.
Yeah, and it's just like, can you not? I do not.
Yeah. Wow.
There was something else I wanted to complain about, but I can't remember. So
You've had a bit of a week.
I've had a bit of a week.
Fair enough.
So yeah. Anyway, how are you?
Well, we had a very bizarrely busy weekend for January.
Okay.
In the case of, like, we were doing, like, summer numbers. We did, like, 90 on Saturday night.
Lovely.
And then, like, 100 for, like, Sunday lunch. And it was just like, cool, we're on skeleton staff. People are off because it's January. So we were, like, running around like blue-ass flies. But apart from that, like, work side of things is fine.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, yesterday I went to see I
Think of the word. Do you want me to say it?
Yeah, you say it because I can't say it.
Osteopath.
Osteopath. I went to see an osteopath.
And well done for even saying path, not path.
Path.
It's not path. There's no R in it. It's path. Path.
Anyway. I went to go see an osteopath for my back. And you know those satisfying chiropractor cracking TikToks where they're cracking people's necks and you can hear it. And now Ben, I had that. It was so nice. She was just like, a bit of massage, load of acupuncture along my spine, kind of loosened everything up. And she was like, and now we're going to realign you. And she was just like, first thing first is I just need to, like, release the muscles, like, in your butt. And I was just like...
In your butt?
In my butt. And I was like, ooh, okay, how are we going to do this? She elbowed me in the arse.
I mean...
And when I tell you that she elbowed me, she fucking elbow slammed me and then dug it in like and I was like, ow!
Did she use lube?
No. I was unprepared. I hadn't even shaved. But I was just like...
Did she tell you to breathe? At least.
Obviously.
Well, generally that's...
Yeah, that's as good as it's going to get without the lube.
Did she offer you poppers?
Oh, is this it, isn't it? No, right, yeah, so I had that, and then she did all the... when they, like, I don't know if you've seen them, but they do, like, they roll you on your side, and then kind of, like, twist your body, and then, like, the next thing you know, like, everything's cracked. Yeah. And you're going, and they go... Ugh! And then I was doing that, and I was like, oh, Christ! And I was in pain, but it was like a good kind of pain. And I stood up, and I was taller.
Okay.
I gained my height back then. My spine is, like, straight. I'm not, like, hunched over like I normally am.
I'm happy for you.
So it was quite satisfying, I must admit. But yesterday I ached, and today I'm fine. But it was, good Lord, it was an experience. And I'm going back in a couple of weeks. So that should be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the sum of my week. Work's been hella busy, unexpectedly, and I got elbowed by a woman and then had to break my spine.
Elbowed in the butt.
Elbowed in the butt by a woman and then she broke my spine.
It's a Saturday night for me, really.
What, by a woman?
Wow. It's 2024.
Can't judge.
Can't judge. Can't ask.
Oh dear. Right. Should we go on to films?
Let's do it.
We've got double whammy today.
Mm-hmm.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do tonight's film and then yesterday's film, or do you want to do yesterday's film and then
Let's
tonight?
do yesterday's film.
Okay, so yesterday we went to go see The Holdovers, starring Paul Giamatti.
Yep.
Do you want to do your thoughts, or should I go first?
You go first.
Right. Well, at the time of this recording, it's obviously been nominated for, like, Oscars. Paul's already won, what was it, an Emmy?
Yes.
Yeah, Emmy. This is a very like, award season movie, in my opinion. It's a very character-driven movie with a very simple storyline with very, like, deep moments for, like, people to really show off their acting chops.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why Paul kind of won his award. I do think he was very, very good in it. However, the movie was boring.
Yes.
It was very slow.
Yes.
It was a 2-hour and 10-minute movie, and
felt like 4.
It felt like 4. I was like, my God, I'm so glad we're in reclining chairs, because I was like, we're here for the long run.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good film. I think everybody that was in it played their part very well. Mm-hmm. I just feel like it is literally one of those contender movies that has just been done so people can be get the nod or the nomination or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything spectacular. Probably a waste of time, unfortunately. But like I said, Paul Giamatti, there was a few bits in there that, like, there was a couple of twists and there was a couple of scenes that, like, got me. So I don't think it was, like, that, like, level of bad.
Yeah.
I just don't think it was a great film. I don't think it was a poor film. It was just slow and boring. I think if pacing had been, like, better, I think it would have been a more enjoyable film. But that's my thoughts. That's my sum-ups of the Holdovers. Mm-hmm. Now, Ben.
So, if you go onto Google and you type in the Holdovers,
Yes.
it classifies its genre as festive comedy drama.
Yes.
Now, to quote Count... what's his face from Sesame Street? One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
One of these things doesn't belong here. It is not a fucking comedy. Like, the trailer sells it as a comedy, but all the comedic moments are in the trailer.
Yeah.
And the trailer's what? 30 seconds, 40 seconds long?
And this was like a 2-hour film.
2-hour film of not comedy.
Yeah.
You know? And festive, just because it's set during the Christmas holidays? Woohoo!
Hey. Die Hard set at Christmas is a Christmas film.
Yes, I know. I think that's because the argument for Die Hard is in there.
Yeah.
This film's able to sort of sneak and go, well, we're also set at Christmas. Ergo, we're a festive film. Drama. Okay, I'll give it drama. I'll allow it.
Very drama.
It was a drama.
Yeah.
That being said, I agree with you. It was so boring. But my biggest gripe with it, was like it set up so many storylines that didn't pay off or didn't finish.
I know.
So it started off, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but it starts off with the teacher, the dinner lady, and five boys.
Yeah.
And it starts giving storylines to each of the boys.
Yeah.
You know, you've got the Mormon who's something or another.
Yeah.
You've got the Korean kid who feels like he's got no friends and he's scared and everything. You've got but then all 4 of the 5 boys get taken away out of the story.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, why even start giving them storylines?
Yeah. Why give them history and backstory
if you're going to rip them out? Yeah. You know, that was just not needed if you're going to rip them out. I thought it was literally going to be like all these kids have got issues and problems and everything. The teachers also got issues and problems, and together in this moment, in these 2 weeks of the Christmas holidays, they all come to an understanding and they'll all grow and be better.
Yeah.
Of course, that happened with the main guy and the main kid who got left behind.
Yeah.
But why set up this? And that's why it angered me.
That's fair.
I
agree.
I walked away from the film angry because it was like, well, what was the point of that?
Yeah.
Like, I get, the main cat, Paul Giamatti and the main kid. Fine. Yeah. Crack on. But why do it for the rest of the kids if you weren't going to follow through?
Yeah, no, I agree. I really do agree.
And that was why I walked away. Yesterday, I was angry with it, wasn't I? Yesterday,
you guys were lucky that we didn't film this yesterday. Jesus.
I don't recommend going to see it. I don't recommend even getting drunk and ripping the shit out of it. Just avoid.
Yeah. I don't think it will bring anything to your life by watching it.
It further cemented my belief that films that get nominated for Oscars should just be avoided.
Yeah.
The only exception is The Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Any other film, the moment I'm like, oh, it's got an Oscar, I'm not bothered then.
Yeah.
Because those films, as you said, they are built specifically for Oscars, and they are not good films because of it.
What they should be doing is actually nominating movies for the quality of the film, not because it's been made for them.
Yes, correct. 100% agree.
But unfortunately, that is not the world we currently live in.
No. Don't recommend, avoid. The worst bit is someone at work told me, oh, you should go see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Right, and whoever told you that, we're not listening to again.
Well, that, and also I need to put a pin in their chair or something.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know what else to say of that other than I did not like.
That's fair. So, right, shall we move on to the second film then?
Yes. So, the other film we went to see was The End from Where We Start.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, from the end from when we start.
From the end from when we start. Shall I go first this time?
You go first.
Another long film.
It was, and this was a shorter film.
And this was a shorter film. Only by 20 minutes, I think.
Yeah, by 20 minutes.
But it was another long film. This was another slow burn.
Yeah.
It was all right.
Mm-hmm.
I was finding myself getting annoyed with a few things. Like, the best way to describe it is it's a disaster film, but it's a realistic disaster film.
Yeah.
And it's more of a character study. You know, it's, right, we're going to take this character, we're going to put them in this situation, this scenario, and see what they do, see what happens.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. I'm not angry with that, but because they tried to ground it and make it realistic, it kind of sort of dragged. Because, you know, once the disaster was over and it was the fallout takes forever.
Yeah.
You know, and the other thing was, because they tried to do a grounded, realistic disaster and then the fallout and the aftermath of it, there was moments when things happen that aren't realistic or grounded, and it sort of really took me out of it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember one of the examples that we talked about before we started recording, and it's now annoying me that I can't think of one.
Petrol.
For you, it was all the cars had petrol. For me, it was they showed military personnel everywhere, and the moment something went wrong, and the moment shit hit the fan, the military personnel just disappeared.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Are they all on holiday? Are they all taking the day off?
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're all taking a shit at once.
Yes. So yeah, it's a one and done film. I will never have the desire to watch it again.
Yeah.
And, you know, maybe go and watch it and sort of ask yourself the question of what you would do in that situation. Because, I mean, that's what I kept doing throughout the film. Like, oh, how would I have done this? How would have I done that? But, yeah, it's a very much a one and done film. You can watch it and then never have to watch it again.
Yeah.
Your thoughts and opinions?
I thought this movie was okay. It was, again, slow. It was, again, a character study.
Yep.
As we've basically been to see 2 character study movies back to back. Once again, the lead, in this case, actress, Jodie Comer, I thought acted the chops off. I think she did very, very well. Mm-hmm. I feel like all her emotions and everything else felt very real. It didn't feel like she was, like, overacting or anything. I felt like, and it's always difficult when you're acting with, like, a baby.
Yeah.
And I feel like she did really, really well. I don't think she was overacting on scenes and things like that. Mm-hmm. Like our friend, the American, said, it felt like 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
Kind of crossed with, like, The Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
But based in, like, London without zombies. And that was, like, I think that was, like, for me, that was, like, very interesting to see. I had the same thoughts that you did, like, oh, what would I do in this scene? Would I run this way, or would I camp down and hide and things like that? And for me, I felt it was more thought-provoking than the handovers.
The holdovers.
The holdovers, sorry.
Yes.
And that, in my mind, then pips it more over that film.
Oh, well, you know, I would say I would choose this film over the holdovers any day, but I didn't like the holdovers. So,
I didn't particularly like the holdovers either.
Recommendation is kind of a moot point.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that actually, gun to my head, and if I was forced to watch another one, watching this one, at least 1, it would be shorter. 2, it would actually give me moments of thought and perspective in a film.
Yep.
As opposed to just sitting there being bored.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was interesting. It's always very difficult in movies when, like, characters don't have names.
Yeah.
There's a very famous movie called The Road with Viggo Mortensen, where it's like, and that's a really fucking dark, messed up apocalypse movie.
Right, yeah.
And I remember crying in that film, and it was so upsetting, and it was so dark and gritty. It was like a nuclear apocalypse one and things like that.
Right, yeah.
Fucking messed up. It's such a great film. But I feel like this was like, it was that same kind of thing. Those characters didn't have names, and they were just like, he just called his son, and he just called him dad, and things like that. And in this movie, the child has a name, but when
the child is the only one who has a name.
The only one that has a name. So I don't know if that also means that you might not have as much of a connection, because you don't feel like you're like when watching, like, say, like that, you're like, go on, dad, go on. With this, you're just like, is it like her character's name is woman?
Yeah.
You're not like, go on, Jennifer, go on, you know. Oh,
go on, woman.
It's like, go on, woman, you know. And you think, well,
sounds almost slightly sexist and misogynistic.
Yeah, exactly. And
go on, woman, get back to the kitchen.
You said it, not me.
Yes, I know.
But I felt like I think it's always a very difficult thing with those bits, that I feel like you almost kind of lose that little bit of connection with the character when you can't even, like, I mean, I assume it's because it said based on the book.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming the character doesn't have a name, because when reading the book,
it's probably a first
person, like, first thing.
Yeah.
So you are kind of trying to put yourself in this person's boots.
Yeah.
But from a visual point of view, that doesn't work as much.
No.
So, I mean, how many times have movies adjusted books and things like that? I do feel like they could have given the characters names, and it wouldn't have mattered as much.
No.
Overall, yeah, I think it was an okay film. I don't think it was particularly bad. I don't think it was particularly great. For the lads, Jodie Comer's boobies were in it.
There was something at this beginning that I really did not expect to see from a BBC film.
Well, the thing for me was that I obviously told you that I saw this on Graham Norton.
Yeah.
And they had like a behind the scenes photo of her in, like, the fake get-up of, like, the birthing scene.
Yeah.
And obviously you don't see that bit in the thing.
No.
And I was just like, oh, okay, well, it's just kind of there for, like, realism and everything. The movie at the beginning said strong language.
Yeah.
It did not, nowhere in the thing did it say, nearly see a baby come out of vagina.
I mean,
I was just like, good Lord.
I was dancing around the subject, but there you go. Yeah, you see a very destroyed, red, bloodied vagina. What? It is! It hasn't had time to go back to its normal shape yet.
No.
So it's an exploded watermelon.
Watermelon! No, dude.
You know?
Yeah, I mean,
like, Jesus, get some preparation H.
I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, fair play to them for fucking, like showing it. You know what I mean?
But was it needed? Did it add anything to the story? Was it necessary?
I don't think it was, but
No.
I mean, how many movies have we seen lately where they do things just for the sake of doing things?
Yeah, this is true.
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I assume again, like, it's supposed to help, especially, like, most of the people in the screen were female.
Yes.
And obviously the ladies behind us, you could hear them going, so
Yeah.
they've obviously gone through that, and you can feel it.
I feel like you said, the majority of the people in the audience were female.
Yeah.
I feel like the majority of the audience were Jodie Comer fans. They're literally there to
Yeah,
support
maybe.
her.
Yeah.
Which is fair, you know.
She's a great actress.
Well, she's a great actress, but also when we went to see Don't Worry, Darling.
Yeah, and everybody was there because they're Harry Styles
Exactly,
fans.
yeah. So it's fine, you know, go see your favourite actors in films. Fine, crack on.
do it.
I do want to make another comment about this film.
Okay.
I've noticed recently, this film and a lot of other films, they like to sit on shots.
Yeah.
For a little bit too long, I'm finding. It's starting to get very annoying, very boring.
Yeah.
You know, I get sitting on a shot, letting the moments sit there and develop and everything, fine. But I'm finding myself going, okay, can we move on now, please?
Yeah.
And it's not just this film that's been doing it. It's been a running thing now with other films.
Yeah, there's a difference between an establishing shot and just like padding it out.
Yeah.
An establishing shot is used. I mean, look at Lord of the Rings. There's loads of establishing shots of scenery and everything else. But it actually feels right with part of the film.
Yeah.
Because it's flowing well. When movies are like pausing and then staying on this scene to keep everything going, they...
Well, let's put it this way. This was a 130-minute film, easily 115.
Oh, easily.
You could easily take 15 minutes of them just sitting on a shot.
Yeah, 100%.
Easily.
Um,
But as I said, I think that's like the done thing nowadays. So
it is.
one film did it first, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, I love it!" And so now everyone's doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's the pulled pork of the film world.
Oh my god, did you remember when pulled pork became a thing?
I remember when pulled pork suddenly came out and it was everywhere. I remember when salted caramel became a thing and it was suddenly everywhere on every single menu and everything.
Yeah.
So final thoughts?
Final thoughts.
The Lord Jesus be testing.
Somebody be testing Ben. He's past. Leave him the fuck alone for a couple of weeks. Jesus.
Like Jesus, Jehovah, Buddha, SpongeBob.
The whole shebang.
The whole shebang. Leave me alone. I just want a quiet week, please.
Oh dear.
Busy restaurant in January.
Busy restaurant in January. Bizarre,
fun times.
but fun times. I'm back to my original height. For now. We'll see how it goes.
The holdovers. Don't bother. Just don't bother. Just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave it. It's not, you're not gaining anything.
The whole film is supposed to make you feel bad for a forgotten child. Just forget the movie.
Yeah.
Just let it become
forgotten. Let's put it this way. In a couple of years' time, people will forget about it.
Yeah.
It's not like anything crazy.
No.
You know.
And the end from where we start.
Slightly better than the Holdovers. The Holdovers.
Go see a grounded disaster film, but
I do think it. I think it makes a better emotional connection to the audience than the other one does.
Yes, but also with it being a BBC film, it may even come out on BBC iPlayer. Just wait for it to come out there.
Yeah, just do that. Save yourself trips.
Like, don't go to the cinema. Just wait for it to come out on streaming.
But always support your cinema.
Always support the cinema. Go see something else. Go see something good.
Yeah. But with that said, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much for joining us. If you are joining us for the first time, make sure you do like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below on your thoughts. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, do give us a 5-star review and comment down below there as well. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Cheers. Bye.